Hey, everybody, welcome back to the You Are Not Broken podcast. I'm so excited today to have on somebody who I think I know. So now I understand it when people tell me they think they know me, Autumn Calabrese. Did I say your last name right, though? I'm like, I've known you for like 7 years and I don't know how to say your last name.
It happens all the time. It's Calabrese or Calabrese, depending on where you are. But yes,
I
Calabrese.
love it. Oh, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I was thinking about you today because I went to the gym and it is December and it is freezing and my body was cold and stiff. And I'm like, how do we get women to understand you got to warm your body up so you stop feeling cold? Like,
Yes, you gotta
fitness
move.
is the way to not be cold.
Yes, exactly. Build that muscle, create that heat. Especially this time of year when it is. I was in Ohio for Thanksgiving visiting my family, and I don't do Ohio
I don't
temperatures.
do Ohio. I'm from
I don't.
Minnesota originally, and I'm like, I don't know how people
And I was
reproduce. I don't know how
no,
they
I
go
was
on and
like,
get naked.
I literally, I was like, the thought of getting in the shower, I was like bone chilling cold. It was snowing. I didn't want to do anything. I was like, man, I forgot, but I understand why it's a little harder to get motivated when it's freezing outside.
Yeah,
But I also just couldn't wait to move
yeah,
to like produce that heat in my body.
yeah. To me, I'm like, that's like, I think a lot of people don't know that. Like, as a physician, like people come to the office and they're like, I'm cold. And you want to be like, let's check your thyroid. Let's make sure everything's functioning. But like, lift weights, spin bike, like do a bunch of push-ups. Like it really warms your body up. And I hadn't thought about it in a while until the weather's changed. And this morning I was like, dude, had I not had a fitness routine that I do, you just stay cold all day.
Yes. Yeah, I'm like that. Even in LA, I'm like that. I wake up in the morning and I'm chilly, but the second I get my workout in, it's like, okay, all systems a go. Now the body
Yes.
feels like it's functioning properly. I'm not shaking and I'm ready to do the day.
Yeah, and then you stay warm for a long time afterwards.
Yes,
Like
for a long time.
it keeps going. Like right now I'm still warm and my workout ended an hour ago.
Feels good.
It feels so good. It feels so much better than being cold. So to all the Midwest people, because I know that it's winter right now, that's the pro tip is get moving even though your body doesn't want to and your mind doesn't want to, because it will work.
It will work.
One of the
It'll
things I
endure.
really like about you and all your programs is all the mindset stuff that you throw into it. And like you're very consistent in that. So like when was that always how you were, or have you been like a student for a while and now you're like, I've got to put this in here?
I think both. I think I've always been a mindset person, but I think the more comfortable I got, like the more I learned and the more comfortable I got with it, the more I just wanted to give it back to people. Because when it comes to fitness, when it comes to a healthy lifestyle, the body doesn't change unless the mind changes, right? So we have to change the way we're thinking about approaching a healthy lifestyle, how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about what it's going to take to make those changes in order to actually make them. Because that's, people always say, well, how do you stay consistent? Well, I lost the motivation. It's all in your mind. It's all the way you're looking at it, how you're approaching it. So yeah, I feel like just the more I was learning about it, the more I wanted to reinforce it. And I feel like, and I have read a lot of studies that's basically, when your body's in motion, you're going to retain things more. I know I am like that. I grew up as a competitive dancer, and the more I danced, the easier it was for me to remember and memorize things in school. Like my memorization just went off the charts. Like I could photographic memory my notes and take my tests so easily. So when I give that mindset when you're moving, it's like, okay, I'm doing the workout. Now I'm sort of integrating what she's saying about how to think about it and why it's important. And then as you go throughout your day, it kind of pops back in there.
Yep. Yeah, I love it. And I think it's not like a listen to one video to get mindset, right? Like it is just like it's like you can't go to the gym once and have beautiful muscles. Like
Right.
it is of the lifestyle if you've got to put in the reps and continue to learn about it and understand how the brain works and keep doing the reps for the muscles. And it's all like it doesn't just stick with one tidbit.
No, definitely not. It is a reinforce on the regular forever.
Totally. What to me, I'm like, I've got like 5 pounds I'd like to body recomp. Like I'd like 5 more pounds of muscle, 5 less pounds of adipose. And I was my thought was, oh, these last 5 are hard. This is hard. These last 5 are hard. What if you, and then I was like, what if the last 5 are easy? What if
Yeah.
all I have is 5? What if this is the easy part? Right? And it's like, dude, you don't realize what your mindset is until you can kind of step out and catch those thoughts.
I was just watching a video that was saying a Harvard study just came out, and it was saying the power of our words and how every cell in our body hears those words, and it's basically coming at a frequency, like a hertz frequency, and that they were seeing that how you speak to yourself can actually impact how you heal and how your cells change faster than any supplement that you can take. And they did the actual blood work and tests and things to prove it. And so, like you said, just saying, oh, these 5 pounds, this last 5 pounds is so hard. It's so hard. You're just telling your body that it's hard. You're
Yeah.
telling your body not to let go.
Yeah.
But if you start, reprogramming yourself, and I'm not saying like a fake it till you make it, but I'm really saying find the good. Like, this is enjoyable. Wow, this is so much easier than it was when I had 20 pounds or 30 pounds to lose, or I've got the routine. So this is great. I just have to stick with it. There's so many positive ways you could start to look at it that will have a much more profound impact for the positive than just, it's hard, I don't want to. I mean, that's when you give up. You're just beating yourself into submission.
Totally. Because you will, who's the famous philosopher? Whether you think it's true or not, you're right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Who is that? I can't remember now.
I don't remember who
It's
said it, but
somebody very famous. Somebody
Very
who's
famous.
listening is like, oh, Kelly, come on, you're brain farting right now.
Both of us, they're like,
Yeah,
get it
we're both
together.
brain farting. But yeah, that guy, he's right. Whether you think it's like Thomas Edison or Ben Franklin, or it's somebody, like, whether you think you can or can't, you're right.
You're right. Because that is what
you're like,
you hit.
oh.
Yeah, that one hits. That one hits hard.
That one hits super hard. And they look at like professional athletes and the people who make it to the Olympics and stuff. It's like they might have unique body genetics. They might be a certain height. They might have certain shoulder wingspans. But by and large, it's the mindset that gets them there.
Yeah, that's why they have their performance coaches, because at a certain point, when you're that good, there's only so much, you can only do so much more training to the point where you're going to have diminishing returns. Then it switches to, what is your mindset? What do you believe you're capable of achieving? When the moment is hard, when you're down, when you're out, what can you dig into to level up again? Because the skill is obviously there.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I was seeing this a lot, like in midlife when I prescribe hormones. I love hormones. Hormones help cells be healthy. Love them. But some people think hormones are all there is, and like they're like secret magic, and like I just need the hormones and I'll feel better. And I'm like, no, like your mindset, and when you're low, knowing how to get yourself back out of that, right? Because so many people think they're in like a stuck state and they're looking for like the hormone to help. But it's like, what are your tricks when you're low to swap out of that quicker than you tend to, like quicker than you did last week, quicker than you did last month? Like, that's the work.
Yes. And I could say that from experience. I'm 45. I just turned 45 in September. So I'm in perimenopause. I've been in it for a couple of years now. And I was already on HRT when I hit my lowest point. And what I mean by I just mean like a mess hormonally. I had been on HRT for a year already. So I was on thyroid, I was on estrogen, I was on progesterone. And I just remember it was just all in 1 week. It felt like it exploded on me. I went from feeling really great and looking really cute. I had a photo shoot. I had done this photo shoot, felt great at it. And a week later, I was at a work event wearing the same outfits on stage, teaching in front of 5,000 people, and felt like they barely fit. So I know I didn't gain 5 pounds of fat, but all of a sudden I had all this inflammation. I was crying every day for no reason. I just couldn't get it together. And I had literally done blood work a few weeks earlier with my doctor. And I got back from the work trip and I called my doctor and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I can't live like this. And he goes, well, we just got your blood work back. And he looked at it and he's like, whoa, you're a mess. And you got to remember, it's not like I wasn't already eating healthy,
Optimized.
exercising. Yeah. But for me, stress has always been the major one. I live in a state of chronic stress, probably have since I was a kid. And that is something that I have worked very hard. I'm not saying that it's like perfected by any means, but that was the thing that I really had to take the most control over in the last 2 years. I'm still on the HRT, still eat. I tweaked my nutrition a little bit because I dug into the research and I started figuring out, okay, what do we actually need to tweak here a little bit? But for me, managing the stress on my body was so huge. And the hot flashes and the night sweats, I mean, goodness, they were unbearable. And then I started to tweak these little things and it was like a whole new world. Poof.
I know.
Like,
Well, and I think doctors and people like people are talking about stress, like manage stress, get your sleep, blah blah blah. But I think we kind of like lip service it a little bit, like meaning like, does the average person actually know what it means when they say, hey, you've got to manage your stress for your health? So like, what
right.
tips would you give people for that?
Well, first of all, I think we live in this state of chronic stress that we don't even acknowledge that we're under stress, right? It's so the norm.
Totally. Like everything's fine. This is how it's always been.
Yeah. And it's not fine at all. The world that we live in is stressful. So I think just even acknowledging that, work can be stressful. You have to really kind of take a big picture look and go, where's all my stress coming from? Because every day, again, if you're used to living in it, it might just feel so normal that no, I'm fine. And that was sort of me. I was, okay, this is all normal. Like I've always had this stress. Well, it's compounding every single day and every single year. So breathing and breath work was the number one thing for me that made a big difference because I could literally do it anywhere. People will say like meditate. And I don't know why, but that's a harder one for me. Like I'm not a sit still kind of girl. It's very hard for me. But I can breathe. We all have to breathe. So I can actively go, oh shoot, I'm breathing into my chest. Let me slow it down. In for 5 counts through the nose, out through 5 counts through the mouth. I can do it while I'm on work calls. I can do it when I'm stuck in traffic. 4-7-8 breathing before I would go to bed. That was a very big one for me. For almost a year, I dialed back in the way that I was training. I was doing a lot of HIIT training, high intensity interval. I still was strength training, but my body just needed a minute. I switched. I started doing more Pilates. I got certified in Pilates. It's been almost 3 years now that I've been studying it very regularly. And I switched to strength training, Pilates, and just 1 day of cardio a week because I still wanted to keep up cardiovascular health. But my body needed even that. Like exercise is great for us, but if you're under an insane amount of stress, exercise is still a stressor on the body. So we have to be aware of the amount that we're putting on it. Really making sure I set a bedtime routine and okay, I'm going to sleep at this time. The lights are off. The room is cold. The room is dark. The TV's off. Those little things made very big differences in the amount of stress on my body. And I also started to get really good at just saying, no, I can't do that. I'm not great at asking for help. That's been a hard one for me my whole life. And so I've really had to start to be okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm in the like learning to say no phase. Cause it's like what you said yes to get you here in your career and where you are in life. Like you got here in part by your hard work, ability to tolerate stress and saying yes.
Yes.
Right. So it's like, it got you here. It's not going to get you there. And furthermore, it's going to wear on you and it's going to age you. And so I think so many women in our age group were like, no, yeah, fully acknowledge you are successful because of your tolerance for stress, your ability to say yes, like all of those things, your ability to not sleep. But now we're going to change the play. We're going to change the playground. And like, that's hard to be like, I know it got you successful, but it's not actually going to sustain you physically, mentally for the next phase.
Right. And that's exactly right, especially for me. The tolerance to stress, ability, 18-hour work days, never said no, every opportunity. Yep, I got it. But it's just no longer sustainable to function at that level without paying the price.
Yep. Yeah. I was just at a conference and they were talking about like the cellular resistance, like the cells, like your mitochondria, like the cellular resistance of an 18-year-old, like you can beat up those cells. And they're fine. They're like their resilience capacity is so much beyond like our ability to beat it up, right? And then hormones, like people are like, oh, you think people aren't going to age? We're still aging. We're just helping our body out by exercising and choosing hormones and choosing sleep and all this stuff. But like as the cells age, it's like the tolerance for that like window of beating up on it, you lose it. That's just an age function. And so then you're like, oh, that's why I think there's so many people who are like, oh, I could handle it when I was 22. Why can't I now? And it's like,
Right.
because you can't. And we're not aging.
Yeah, you can't. Yes, we're trying to age gracefully. We're trying to do it with the least dis-ease possible, but it doesn't mean that it's not happening.
Yeah, totally. How do you think, for people who don't know, you started with Beachbody and now it's called Body, and how are things different like culturally with women working out now compared to when you started in the fitness industry?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Okay, so when I started in the industry, I mean, it's been 22 years since I started. I was in my 20s when I started. But when I started with then Beachbody, now Body, I was a fitness competitor. Like I was still in my fitness competitor era. And it was, yes, let's go hard. Let's lift some weights. Let's do it. It's okay to have the desire for a specific looking physique. It was okay to talk about weight loss and losing body fat. And then about, I would say, 5 years into being body, right around, when the pandemic happened and the world had a massive shift, that threw a really big loop. Like I think that threw the industry for a loop. All of a sudden, it was almost like you were a bad person if you talked about losing weight, if you talked about exercising for health. It was like, just let people live, and you must be telling people not to love themselves the way they are if you're telling them to exercise. And it was this very jarring place of, I'm coming from a place of wanting to help and encourage and support, but healthy is healthy and unhealthy is unhealthy. And now I feel like we are swinging out of it. And I think we're starting to see a little bit more of balance. Like we are seeing people go, okay, wait a minute. I do want to be healthy. We're hearing the buzzword longevity quite a bit, but wanting to have this longevity to us and again, living disease free for as long as possible and having our ability to take care of ourselves on our own. I do think we're getting back to a point of acknowledging it's okay. It's okay to want to look a certain way. We want to achieve it in a healthy manner, but it's okay to want that. Because I felt like for a few years there, it was almost like you were shamed if you wanted to look a certain way. So I think we're seeing the pendulum swing. We're seeing women really starting to enjoy weight training again, a really big movement towards lifting weights again.
Yep.
But we're also seeing that right along with weight training, I mean, Pilates is at its all-time high right now. It's peak of people wanting to do it.
I didn't know that.
Which, oh my goodness.
Well done.
Yeah, which is fantastic. And again, but that goes to the mobility, the flexibility, the core strength, the proper posture, moving without pain. There's a lot of people out there teaching Pilates. And then there's true Joseph Pilates method. And I do think it's not that the other one is wrong. It's just Joseph's method was very specific. And I think that is a beautiful little hybrid strength training, but then Pilates training for that mobility, that flexibility, that proper posture alignment. We sit so much, every placement of your hand, the precision, every placement of your foot, the alignment of your head, you're rewiring your nervous system to move and function and activate in the right order. And then that carries over to strength training. Yeah.
I think, what a lot of people don't understand about strength training, because you think it's just like lift heavy, lift heavier, lift heavier. And yes, but like the amount of flexibility, mobility work that goes into that. And the people who lift heavy will say that. They'll be like, I need a full day of yoga or a full day of mobility or Pilates to like for lack of a better word, I know it's a crappy word, lengthen things out, but like, get the stretching in there to get the blood flow into the joints. And then the other big thing that I think people don't see with lifting weights is rest and sleep. And like the big lifters are like, you've got to rest the body. And here we are
Oh,
thinking like more, but they're like, no, if you're not resting, that's when you build muscle actually.
yes. Yeah, and the workout is when we break it down. If you're never allowing the repair time, you're never really going to make the progress that you're looking for. You're going to cause all the inflammation, but you're never going to have the recovery of it all. I mean, again, when I was a fitness competitor, my coach was a bodybuilding competitor, and I remember he would just after competition, that man would be like down and out for days. He was like, I gotta go sleep for days. Don't text, don't call. He's like, go do your recovery, because he
Yeah.
would compete at the same time. And I just remember thinking to myself, because it was 15 years ago at this point, like, why do you need so much sleep? I was in my
Right.
30s.
Well, now you're like wise. He was
Yeah,
prioritizing.
very wise. We need sleep. These
Yeah.
legs need to recover.
Yeah. Well, and I think for people who aren't sleeping well, it tends to happen slowly, right? It's not like you slept great and then Tuesday you slept bad. It's like poor sleep happens slowly, or not prioritizing sleep happen. I'll just finish this one project. I'll just watch this other thing on YouTube, blah, 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 blah. Right. So it's like you kind of slowly get into the bad sleep and you don't realize how important it is. And then you're like, dude, sleep's everything. Sleep's
Everything.
everything. Like, I wish I didn't say that, but like sleep's everything. If you're not sleeping, like you'll die. Like literally you'll die if you don't sleep.
I mean,
So
we
like,
know people use it as a form of torture, like sleep deprivation. That alone
right.
should tell you something. And I don't think we often relate what happens when you don't get that good night of sleep. Like how many things that triggers.
Yeah.
Your mood is going to be off, your cortisol is going to be high. It's going to start to trigger those sugar cravings because your
Yep.
body is looking for that readily available energy source.
Yep.
You're probably going for more caffeine, which is overtaxing the adrenals, could be dehydrating you. And it's just this vicious cycle that you get stuck in. But I also think that a lot of times people have a hard time with sleep, even going to bed, even going to their room or getting in bed, because that means their brain has to slow down. And if you're trying to avoid something, if you're stressed out about something, the second you get in bed, turn the lights off, turn the TV off, put the phone down, the brain goes. And it's like, well, it almost feels more stressful to get in bed and lay there ruminating than it
Because
does to
you're like letting reality back in because you were
yeah.
distracting yourself. Yeah.
And
Ooh.
so it's about taking that time, like an hour before bed. Like, what is that routine? Is it put the phone down, stop the doom scrolling? Do you need to sit and journal and write down all the things that are stressing you out to get it out?
Get it out.
Do it. Bath. That's where, like I said, I like to get in bed. And if I do the 4-7-8 breathing technique, so it's in for 4 counts through the nose, hold for 7, exhale slowly for 8. I have to count. So I can't really think about anything else
Yeah.
because I'm counting.
Yep.
And I do a good 10 cycles of that. And then at that point, my body has gone into a much more relaxed state and I can fall asleep.
I
Kind of
think
like,
a lot of
count
people
sheep.
will totally, and a lot of people will use alcohol and THC gummies to sleep because they just want to be like, they don't want to learn the skills of how to sleep or cut out the things like, but I like drinking coffee till 4 p.m. and I like my screens and blah, 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 blah. And then so they'll use something to knock them out quick, but they don't understand that that's not great quality sleep actually. And it's a stress on the body. Like I pride myself in my clinic. I'm like, the amount of people I've gotten off of the stupid THC sleep gummies because they are using them to sleep. But then they're like, oh, I don't need those anymore. I'm like, yes, another one.
Yes. Check the box. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's what people don't realize. It's these these little changes to lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
that, again, all of a sudden you start to go, oh, wait, I didn't need that, whatever you were taking to help you sleep. Oh, I didn't even need my caffeine this morning. Oh, I had so much energy to get through the day. Hey, I wasn't super moody and yelling at my family all day long. But there is that period. I would say it's usually a good 7 to 14 days where you're trying to make those new lifestyle changes that are probably going to be uncomfortable. Like my hormone health program for women that I have, and it's women of all ages and phases. It's not just perimenopause, menopause, because so many women are experiencing hormonal imbalances. It's Belvital, but we address nutrition, fitness, and stress management, and then some supplementation. But it's these little changes where I'm like, okay, we're going to cut back on the amount of caffeine we're taking in a day. And I mean, the amount that some women would tell me they were taking in a day, I'm just like,
How
oh
much?
my,
Asking for a friend.
400 to 500 milligrams a day.
And
And
1 cup of black coffee is 80 milligrams. So that's roughly like 6 cups of coffee.
yeah, or it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I have 2 cups in the morning and then I have my energy drink and then I have another cup at midday. And I'm like, no wonder you're not sleeping.
Yes.
That caffeine has that half-life. It's a 6-hour half-life, I
Yep.
believe it is. So every 6 hours, you're cutting the amount of milligrams in half. So
Right.
if you've
So,
had
yeah,
500
half of
milligrams,
it's still in you.
half of it's still in you. You're still raging. So no wonder you're
Yeah.
not sleeping. And the first week they tell me, okay, I've got the headache, very low energy, and
It sucks.
we're making sure they're hydrating and things like that. But the good news is usually when they start the program, they're at their end of their rope. So they're pretty
Sure.
dedicated. And that first 7 days, if they get through that first 7 days, they're usually feeling so good by the end of the 7th day. Not only are they more energy, sleeping better, headaches are gone, usually a significant amount of weight has fallen off in that first 7 days. And they're
Mhm.
like, wait, what? I'm
No,
like,
it's
see,
crazy. The body hangs on to stuff because it's stressed, and it's like the body, I don't know, like, is the body like, hey, we might die soon, so I need to hang on to some of this, right? Because it's stressed. And you like get the stress away, and the body's like, oh, okay, let me
oh,
let me just
thanks.
clean up a little bit here.
Exactly, it does. It starts to do all the cleaning up, autophagy of the cells, the sweeping of the gut, all those
Yep.
things start to happen. But if you're in a constant state of stress, they don't happen.
Don't happen. Oh, and I think, our culture, people don't understand that our culture is like a thing. And like we respond to the culture, the thing that has been created. And the thing that has been created is this badge of honor for getting a lot of shit done, especially women. Like your badge of honor for getting a lot of shit done is like big in I think, women culture. Men have it too, but like I see it especially for women. And you have to kind of prioritize your health and your body over what this culture is rewarding, because at the end of the day, like nobody's going to take care of your body for you. And like
Right.
the facts are the facts. Like stress is hard on cells. We know that.
Yes. Yeah, that badge of honor of like not only getting it done, but getting it done in the worst conditions possible. Oh my God, I got A, B, and C done, and I only had 4 hours of sleep and I'm on my 7th cup of coffee. That's not something to be
Right.
proud of.
Yeah. I got it done in the worst situation ever. Oh,
Like, good for you. We're glad you can get it done.
yeah.
Proven. Now let's not get it done in those conditions. Let's get it done with a good amount of sleep and some water in our body and fueled.
Yeah. Yeah. I have another kind of big career goal that I'm making. And part of the conditions of it is it's going to be fun and I'm not going to hustle. And if I start hustling, because I'm like, it's the hustle got me here. Right. And I'm like, but I'm not going to hustle for stage 2. And if I do hustle, I'm cutting it. I'm done. Like I'm so being intentional up front on it, because I know like I can't do what I did again, nor do I want to. So you have to be very clear of like, okay, I'm going to go up for another big dream, but I'm going to do it different. And that's the joy in it, of like, you get to be intentional at this point.
Yeah. Well, one, I'm very interested to know what that is.
Haha.
Then we'll find out. And also, I'm doing the exact same thing. I have told people what mine is. I'm getting ready to launch a beverage line.
Nice.
Matchas and functionals, and exactly that. I will hustle, but I will only hustle at certain times. Like, okay, this has to get done, but these are my work hours, and I
Yep.
have to eventually turn it off.
Yep.
Or I'm not going to be, because like you said, I cannot get there the same way I got here.
Yeah.
I am not 29 years old anymore, 30 years old. It's got to happen a different way. So it's about working more efficiently.
Yep.
Instead of just working more, it's like, no, let me be very intentional with my hours and my time that I'm putting in.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it, because otherwise the whole day's gone and you
Yes.
didn't get your workout in. So I want to just share my story because it'll be fun for you probably and for the listeners. So what was it? I was sitting, this was the mindset came first, like the mindset to change your life with fitness. I'm like, it came first for me. I've always kind of worked out and I was athletic and I like to run and blah, blah, blah. But I had 2 kids and I was sitting on the couch and I was like, a woman with good arms, like chef's kiss. I just love looking at it. I'm like, oh, God, it looks so good. And so I was like looking at some woman with nice arms and I thought, I'll get those arms when I retire. And the special thing about that thought was I caught it, right? I was like, oh, my plan is to work out when I retire. When am I going to retire? Probably not for a while, right? And so I caught the bullshit and I caught it and I was like, that's a bullshit thought. Why wouldn't I work out until I retire? Like that's a bullshit thought, right? And so I actually met online in a physician group, a anesthesiologist who was a mom who was it was Beachbody at that point. And I was like, okay, I see it. Like that's a female physician with kids. So when you see it represented, then you're like, okay, I can do that then because she's doing it. Right. So I started Beachbody. This was in 2017. I have stuck with it ever since. I've done over 2,000 workouts. I still have an accountability group. I've done like almost every program. I've got nice arms. And the other part about it was like, I'm not a morning person. I don't work out in the morning. And then I was like, oh, maybe that's bullshit too. Because I was always waiting to have enough energy after dinner, after the kids went to bed. And there was never enough energy left at that time. Right. Like it was just never, can you stay energetic enough to then work out? And I think that's where that's just more stress on the body at that point because you're already exhausted.
Right.
And so like I started working out in the morning and it sucked in the beginning. And then a weird thing happened. I started looking forward to going to bed so I could wake up to work out. And I was like, what?
Who am I?
Who am I? And the other thing that was shocking, like during it was like by month 4 to 6, I started noticing like body changes. And again, our culture is like 6 weeks to best abs, 4 weeks to toned arms. It's like, dude, you guys, this takes a while. It takes a while and we have to be patient with it.
Yes.
So that's my Beachbody story.
That's incredible. Over 2,000 workouts and you still have the accountability group. That's huge though. I really like what you said about the fact that, when you saw somebody else like you doing it, then it was like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it too. And it's one of the reasons I absolutely love Beachbody and what we've done over the years. And even though we don't have our coach network like we used to, we still run groups and things like that in our platform because that's the point, is to show people like everybody can do this. There's something for everybody, whether, it's 10, 15 minutes a day or an hour a day, depending on what you have. There's more than one way to get there.
Yeah.
I think that's a question I always get. Well, like, what's the best program? And I'm like, well, the best one is the one you're going to do.
Just start.
To just, like if you're not going to do an hour, if that's going to stress you out, then do the 30 minutes.
Yeah.
If you're not going to do 6
and watch
days,
out, because if it's a 25-minute body program, it's hard as hell.
Yeah. Don't be fooled. We're getting it done.
Don't be fooled.
We're not over here just, taking it
lightly for 25 minutes. Because like me and my group, like we know, we're like, oh, if it's 20 minutes, that's going to be a very hard program. They're going to pack it in.
Yeah, it's one or the other. You got to get it done one way or the other. But there is something for everybody. And the fact that you've been so consistent for so long and that you got to that point where you started to look forward to the workouts, that's that mindset that hits. The pride that comes from doing it. The first few days you hate it. But after even like 3 or 4 days, you start to get really like, yeah, look at me. I did it again. I got up and did it again. Because we like to have those braggy moments, right? Of, oh my gosh, I was up and I got it done. I say it all the time in my workout. I'm like, I know I'm kicking your butt, but you would not be happy with me if you left here feeling like you had more to give. You'd be annoyed. You'd be annoyed that you wasted your time. You definitely wouldn't go brag on social media. I just had the easiest workout. I'm so glad I did it. Like, no, that's not what you're looking for.
I was working out with my trainer this week and she's like, one of her other clients was like, I can't wait for the time when this gets easy. And she's like, the secret is that it's always hard to lift weights. Like, otherwise you're not challenging yourself, right? But it's like the mindset is like the hard is the point. The hard is what stimulates the body to get stronger. But
Right.
like, there's no like, oh, this will just be easy all the time now.
Right. The part that gets easy is the mindset shift, is that when you really continuously drill the mindset, it's easier to be in the discomfort. You embrace the discomfort. You expect the discomfort. That's the easier part of it. It's not easy, but you know that's what's coming. You know that's what's necessary, and you're ready for it. You accept
Yep,
it. Whereas in the
totally.
beginning, you're trying to do everything to not be uncomfortable.
Yeah, totally. And I think, part of it's just like, I don't know if it's a muscle myth. You just get more confident that you're not actually going to hurt yourself.
Right.
Right. And for people who are actually going to like a physical gym with free weights, like, get a trainer, have somebody watch you, be spotted, especially if you want to push it. Like, you don't have to do this alone.
Right.
But the other thing I think that is, Beachbody is and Body is so amazing is the accountability groups. Cause I'm like, turns out I was better at showing up because I knew other people were going to show up. That accountability. And I was like, I wasn't willing to be accountable to myself, which to me, I'm like, oh, that's effed up, Kelly. Like, work on that. But but like, I will show up because I know other people are going to show up. And that's
Right.
where, like, we still have a Facebook group. I've already posted mine today, like, never miss a Monday, posted it. Like, I've been doing that for 9 years now.
That's incredible.
It's
And
pretty
it's
crazy. Like, it adds up, right?
for sure 9 years. That's 9 years of consistency. That's where the true magic happens. It doesn't happen overnight, no matter what everybody wants to think or
They
ever
really
people
want
want
it
to
to.
say. We all really want it to. But no matter what, it's like it's the consistency over time. So you might have some times in there where the workouts are a little bit easier, or maybe they're not as frequent. Maybe it's 4 days a week instead of 6, or they're shorter instead of longer, or maybe the nutrition isn't as dialed in. But it's the consistency over time. It's not the how hard can I go for 3 weeks, right? Can I beat my body into the ground for 3 weeks? Oh my gosh, yay, I got there. I can't wait to go indulge in all of the things and not work out for a week. You set yourself right back. It's the show up, do the work, stay consistent, keep going. Allow for a little bit of the, okay, a little treat here, a little treat there, allow for the rest days. But it's the mindset of, I am a person who exercises. I am a person who eats healthy.
Yes.
It's that identity that is going to get you there and keep you there.
Let's talk about that, because I think people, the fitness people, they say it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. And then the people who aren't, they're like, what's this lifestyle? And I think you just nailed it. It's a mindset. The lifestyle is a mindset.
Yeah.
Would you agree? I'm like, did I just figure that out finally?
Yeah.
Like, people are like, what's this lifestyle? Oh, it's a mindset.
It's a mindset, and I'll go one step further. So Tony Robbins says this. It's an identity. Like, and he explained it so well, so I'll just explain it the way he did, which was, he was like, okay, if your identity is, I'm like, if you're not a smoker, that's an identity. I am not a smoker. So if somebody walks up to you and offers you a cigarette, you're not going to ask them what brand. You're not going to be like, well, what is it? Maybe I'll smoke it. No, I'm not a smoker. So you can have that same mindset or identity around, I am not a procrastinator. I am somebody who exercises. That is your identity. I don't skip my workout because I'm somebody who exercises. Now, if I wake up one day and I'm super tired, I didn't get a good night's sleep, I'm very sore, maybe my workout changes. Maybe it's a walk. Maybe it is yoga, stretching, Pilates, something that's lower impact. But I'm a person who exercises, so I'm going to move my body. There's certain things that I don't eat or drink. Like, that's just me. So that's just a part of my identity. I think I've had one soda probably in like 10 years. I don't drink soda. So if somebody's like, oh, do you want soda? I don't say what kind. I don't drink soda.
Yeah.
That's just me. I don't drink soda. So I don't care what kind you're offering. I appreciate the offer. I don't drink soda. Thank you.
I love that.
That's the lifestyle that I think fitness people are talking about. Those are the things that, I eat healthy. I eat vegetables. I eat fruit. I don't eat an excessive amount of sugar. That's the lifestyle.
Yep. I see it a lot with if for me personally, like I'll joke, I'll be like, sugar's all I have left, you know, and
Yeah,
because I don't drink alcohol, right? So I'm like, sugar's all I have left, and to me, like, what's the when I want to reach for the sugar treat, what is my thought, right? And my thought, because I'll catch it, my thought is, I deserve this.
Mm,
And that's a very strong thought when you're trying to give up sugar, because you're breaking you thinking you deserve something in a reward, right? So like that's the coaching on
right.
a lot of this, of like, can you see the thought that's keeping you in this habit, and can you replace it with, I am choosing a fitness lifestyle, I'm choosing low glycemic index, carbs, whatever it is, to replace the like, I deserve this.
Right.
That's a pretty powerful thought. That'll keep me in the mint chip Haagen-Dazs if I don't work on that thought.
Right. And it could be flipped just to I deserve to feel good. Okay, so what the Haagen-Dazs might make you feel good in the moment, right? Because you're going to get that little hit from enjoying the taste and the sugar, but is it going to leave you feeling good long term?
Yep.
But so I love sweets too. Like I'm a sweets girl. That's the thing I got to put the circle around and okay, where are the boundaries with it? But I won't, kind of like alcohol. Like I'll have a glass of wine every once in a while, but I don't ever have alcohol because of something bad going on in life. It is never a coping thing for me. If a glass of wine sounds good, oh, that sounds good. Like last night I went out to sushi with some friends and I had a glass of wine. It sounded good. That I didn't, that's the first glass I've had in, I don't know, 2 weeks. So great. Fine. I had a glass. Same thing if I want a dessert. Oh, it sounds good, but it's never, oh my God, this day was so awful. I'm just going to sit down and I'm going to indulge in this. It's going to feel good. Those are the moments where I turn to what other healthier coping mechanism can I use? Like, am I taking a walk? Am I calling somebody? Am I putting on a funny movie? Am I indulging in a little bubble bath skincare routine? Something that is just going to help me relax, but that's not going to be detrimental.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. And I think it's helpful for people to be like, there's tips and tricks to like around this, right? Because I think some people are just like, oh, well, Autumn just has something that I don't have. Like, you just got this genetic gift, or, whatever. And it's like, no, no, no.
Definitely.
This is all human stuff, and it applies to everybody. I saw a statistic recently, and I think it was 27% of Americans lift enough weights, to whatever the guidelines for lifting weights are by the government, which is I'm guessing low, just
Right.
because it's probably a low bar.
Yeah.
But like less than 1/3 of adults meet that bar of lifting weights. And the data that's coming out now on leg strength being correlated with risk of dementia, and like how muscle strength is brain health, basically. So
Yes.
I'm plugging, maybe you should do a muscle brain program at some point. But like
Hey, listen, I love the spin on it. I mean, obviously, if you've ever done any of my workouts, everybody knows leg day is my favorite day. I
right, and
love
the data is the biggest muscles are the ones most correlated with, I don't know if you know about this twin study. They did an identical twin study. It was female twins, and they looked at leg strength, and it was the twin with the biggest leg strength had the least risk of dementia in the future. So
Wow.
that study's going around right now.
I'm gonna have to look that
Because
one up.
female
Hmm.
leg, and these were identical twins, so you couldn't say it was like a genetic thing that like one was strong, whatever. So it's like, dude, muscle strength is directly correlated. And I'd say besides breast cancer, second thing women are most afraid of, dementia.
Yeah. I know for me that's huge because I've had my genetics done and I have the double whammy from both my parents. I have the gene mutation for Alzheimer's and dementia.
Oh, you're
So,
APO4E.
mhm.
That's like the most common one. And for anybody listening, you can that's just a lab test at Quest now you can get.
Yes. And it's a scary thing when the doctor tells you, he's like, "Oh, you got from both parents. So you really need to be on top of this." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh my gosh, all the
Okay.
brain health.
All
All
the
the brain
brain all the brain
those
health.
but the good news is that I've already been building the habits that I just need to keep going with.
Right.
But
Right.
it is a really important one that we're starting to, grip strength has been related or correlated to health and longevity and
But
lifespan.
you can't just sit in a chair and work on grip strength.
No,
That's the people. People are like, so the hack is you sit in your lazy boy chair and just squeeze a tennis ball, right? It's like,
right.
no, grip strength is a correlated with overall body strength. You can't just work on your
Yes.
grip strength.
You can't just work the grip strength, right? Exactly. But it's amazing. Everybody's looking for what's the next pill, what's the next thing. And ultimately, it's the lifestyle stuff that is really going to have such a massive impact.
Yeah. Oh, total gains. I mean, even for women, it's like women live longer, but we live more years in ill health.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, let's tighten that up. Like,
Yes.
Peter Attia talks about like your last decade of like, everybody gets a last decade. We don't
Right.
know when that is, but everybody gets a last decade. And can that last decade be as functional as possible? So you're not dependent and, all the things. To me, I'm like, dude, I can't open jars as it is right now. Like I gotta keep my strength. Those jars aren't gonna get any easier to open as we go forward.
No, exactly. We got to keep it all strong.
I love it. Well, to leave us today, to me, I'm like, this mindset is everything and right up my alley. What else do you want women to know in midlife?
That, I think it's so important in this midlife. I was really just thinking about it the other day. I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm 45. Like I'm closer to 50 now. Like I really am at the age where midlife is midlife. But it's not this sentence of doom and gloom. It really can be coming into the best years of our life because we've learned so much and we've experienced so much. And you probably are at a more established point in life, career, kids, that it's like, this is your time to shine. But it's all going to start with your mindset. If your mindset is, oh my gosh, it's perimenopause and my hormones and it's going to be awful and miserable and it's all downhill from here, that's probably what you're going to get. But if you really are like, no, my body is not broken. It is made to work. I might need to work a little harder to help it, but it's made to work. What can I do? What are the small changes? That's where you're going to you're going to go from surviving to thriving. And I think we all want that. I think we want to thrive. I know I'm not looking to just survive every day. I want to feel my best.
I think a thing I see is like a lot of women don't understand if you're not feeling good, it's really hard to understand that feeling good is possible for you. Right? So it's like find the people who represent that or want you to, they can lead the way of like, because when women go from not feeling good to feeling good, they're like, oh my God. Right. So it's like, trust that feeling good is possible.
Yes.
And that you're going to figure out how to get there. And these, like everything we talked about today is like the path to feeling good, which feeling good is freaking amazing.
It's amazing. I'll leave you with this. When I was in Ohio for Thanksgiving, I ended up with a little stomach bug. And it was freezing on top of it. So I didn't work out for 6 days. I was in so much physical pain, meaning not my stomach, my back hurt so bad from the lack of movement. Everything was tight. Everything was just felt unaligned and achy. And after that first workout, even though the workout was a little harder getting back into it, I was like, oh, I feel so much better. Like the back pain is gone, but I had to push through the fact that my back really hurt and am I going to hurt myself because my back already hurts? So we think the workout is going to be the hardest part, but I actually think the lack of movement is so much harder and feels so much worse than the 30-minute workout.
I mean, that's the crazy thing too, of like how quickly it happens.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, no, you got to keep, better make it a lifestyle because this happens quick. If the bed bound, like how fast you lose your muscle is like, no, you got to keep doing this. That's part of it. I tell people it's like, you don't put a seatbelt on once and then you're good. You don't floss once and then you're good. Like there's all these other things in our life that we're like, I wore a seatbelt once, I'm good, right? It's like, no, you got to keep wearing the seatbelt. Got to keep living the lifestyle to make it work for you.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for coming on. I know you're on Instagram. For anybody who's been under a rock, BODI.com. That's where your Belle Vital program is, and all of your other ones, because I've been doing it since 2017.
Yes.
You're fabulous. I welcome you into my home all the time, and thank you for your decades of dedication to helping women feel better.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. Thank you for having me, and happy holidays.